Chapter 91 Killing the Soul King with Power, Second Update. Please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ugh! Mu Hong shrieked as his bleeding right arm went flying. Feng Xian's blade had sent him hurtling backward, crashing through a wall 7 meters away before landing in a muddy puddle. There he was, a once majestic Soul King, now covered in blood and mud, a truly pathetic sight. If his martial soul hadn't been the black tortoise with its incredible defense, that last strike would have cleaved him in two. Ah! My arm! My arm! Mu Hong's face twisted in agony. Clutching the stump with his left hand, he squealed like a stuck pig. Feng Xian had cleanly severed his right arm, and blood was gushing everywhere. That soul-devouring skill was terrifying, completely nullifying a Soul King's attack. Feng Xian had seized the opportunity and taken Mu Hong down in one swift blow, but as powerful as the swallowing skill was, it consumed an insane amount of energy to activate. The more soul power used, the stronger the devouring effect. Swallowing Mu Hong's overlord fist had drained almost all of Feng Xian's reserves. Against a soul sect of equal level, Feng Xian could devour them whole and refine their power. He was pretty satisfied with the first use of his soul-devouring skill. Drawing technique of light, judgment sorrow. Immediately after landing the blow, Feng Xian swung his sword again, aiming to finish Mu Hong off. Activating his seraph martial spirit, he channeled sacred soul power into his strongest attack. Die, Mu Hong! Feng Xian roared, his 3 soul rings of yellow, purple, and purple blazing brightly as he tried to capitalize on his advantage. You little punk, don't get cocky. Even with a severed arm, serious injuries, and diminished strength, Mu Hong was still a powerful Soul King. Realizing Feng Xian's lethal intent, he reacted instantly, his eyes turning bloodshot. 5th Soul Skill, Xuanwu Divine Armor. Buzz! In a flash of golden light, a massive turtle shell materialized around Mu Hong, completely encasing him in an impenetrable defense. This was his 10,000-year soul skill, boasting incredible defensive power. No one, not even Soul Kings of equal level, could hope to break through it, let alone a mere soul sect. Clang, star, the shadowless knife, imbued with sacred power, transformed into a golden beam of light, slamming relentlessly against the Xuanwu divine armor, creating an earth-shattering boom. What? Feng Xian's eyes widened in disbelief. His full-force attack not only failed to crack the shell, but the impact had shattered his grip. Dark red blood trickled down his palm onto the white blade. What kind of insane defense is this? He was stunned. He'd run up against a truly formidable opponent, not only a Soul King a whole level above him, but one with a ridiculously strong defense. Ha ha ha, you think you can kill me, kid? In another 100 years, even ordinary Soul Emperors couldn't break my Xuanwu divine armor. A little soul sect like you. Keep dreaming. Seeing Feng Xian's attack thwarted, Mu Hong roared with laughter, as if releasing all the pent-up frustration in his heart. Oh, really? Then I'll just have to hack it to pieces and show you how it's done. Feng Xian's eyes burned with a manic glint. Humph, don't act tough. That swallowing skill must have taken a toll on you. I can see your soul power is almost depleted. Mu Hong sneered, waiting for Feng Xian to exhaust himself before moving in for the kill. Upgrade! In his mind, Feng Xian yelled and decided to level up again. He had just killed a dozen or so soul sects, and the accumulated soul power was just enough to advance 2 levels. He'd already advanced once, and now he could do it again. Perfect timing to use it as a surprise move to restore his soul power. A surge of powerful soul energy coursed through his body, instantly replenishing Feng Xian's soul power to its peak. Level 43. With his strength boosted and his soul power maxed out, Feng Xian activated his angel spirit to attack, using his devouring skills to weaken the turtle shell's defense. With this 2-pronged assault, he finally shattered Mu Hong's Xuanwu divine armor in one fell swoop. Die! Feng Xian screamed wildly, the long knife piercing through Mu Hong's chest. The bloodied tip protruded from his back, impaling him completely. No. Mu Hong coughed up blood, his face a mask of terror. He couldn't comprehend how a mere soul sect could have broken through his defense. With a deep sense of resentment, his body went limp, collapsing into a pool of blood. Congratulations on defeating a 5-ring Soul King. Reward, 10,000 sword draws, soul power 10,000, 10,000 sword draws and 10,000 soul power points. Star, Fang Xian was ecstatic. He hadn't expected the reward for killing a Soul King to be so generous. Even though killing Mu Hong had been a stroke of luck and dangerous, it was definitely worth it. Excited, he opened his personal panel, eager to check his current stats. The most powerful sword drawing system. Host, Fang Xian. Level, LV43. Title, Soul Sect. Soul Power, 10,000/7,000, can be upgraded. Weapon, Shadowless Knife. Proficiency, Hinayana Drawing Sword Technique, 11/200. Perception of State of Mind, Sword Power. God-given Sword, 1. Martial Spirits, Soul of Seraphim. Intermediate level 0/200, Soul of Ice Phoenix. Intermediate level 82 to 200, Soul of Nine-Hearted Begonia. Intermediate level 80 to 200. Talents, Sorrow of Judgment, Dance of Fine Snow, Light of Healing. Sword Skills, Storm Slash, Super Strong Sword Drawing. The power of drawing the sword is increased by 30%. Yan Hui, Super High Speed Drawing of the Sword. The speed of drawing the sword is increased by 30%. The number of times the sword can be drawn, 21,000. A whopping 21,000 sword draws. That should be enough to keep him busy for a while. Plus, the huge amount of soul power rewarded for killing the Soul King was enough for him to keep leveling up. Fang Xian was so pumped that he decided to hold off on upgrading. Instead, he would save it as a trump card. After tonight's fight, he knew that when his soul power was depleted, leveling up would instantly replenish it, like an instant resurrection with full health. This upgrade was too precious to waste. It would be his final trump card. I wonder how the old geezer is doing. Snapping out of it, Fang Xian immediately thought of the old madman. He scanned the surroundings and finally spotted the two-titled Douluo still locked in a fierce battle 300 meters east. Oh crap, this is bad. Fang Xian's jaw dropped when he saw something shocking. His pupils constricted, and his expression turned grim. The old madman and Blood Douluo had exchanged hundreds of blows, still deadlocked, but during their last full-on collision, the blood sword spirit had actually sliced through the old madman's black knife. Boom! A lightning bolt ripped through the sky, and the color of the world changed. Chapter 92 The Murderous Demon Sword, 3rd Update. Please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For a swordsman, their sword is their life. Losing it in battle, especially a high-stakes one, is like the end. With his black knife broken, the old madman was disarmed. The situation was critical. He was no match for Blood Douluo now, this fight. Ha ha ha. Blood Douluo laughed maniacally, having shattered the black sword. Arrogance crept across his aged face. He glared at the old madman, saying dismissively, "Too bad, Luo Xianchen. I admit, your swordsmanship is something else. Maybe unbeatable. If your sword were a divine weapon, I wouldn't stand a chance." He changed his tone, sneering. But you can't forge a divine weapon. You've got a useless martial soul, it's got no fighting power. Looks like you're gonna die here. The old madman was silent, his expression calm on his weathered face. He stared at the broken sword in his hand, murmuring, "Guess even the best ordinary swords can't compare to a weapon spirit at the titled level." "What's wrong, Luo Xianchen, ready to surrender?" "If I bring you in alive, I think His Majesty the Pope will be very happy," Blood Douluo taunted. "Shui Jianni, you're right. I can't make a divine weapon, but..." The old madman's gray hair was wild, his eyes were deep, and a dangerous smile touched his lips. "Who said I don't have one? Ha! Are you kidding me? That old trick won't fool a titled Douluo like myself." Blood Douluo paused, frowning, his eyes filled with doubt. He didn't believe the old madman, the broken knife fell from his hand to the blood-red ground, then, a murderous scarlet sword materialized out of thin air, its blood-red light tearing through the night, its terrifying intent reaching for the sky. It was a blood-red long knife, slender and sharp. At first glance, it looked like any other blade, but it was wreathed in red, murderous energy. That energy had solidified, making it clearly visible. The moment the knife appeared, dark winds whipped through the space, carrying the screams and wails of countless ghosts, piercing ears, shaking souls, and spreading like a tsunami. What kind of knife is that? 100 meters away, Fang Xian trembled, his bones creaking, even his soul shaking as if it were about to break under the onslaught of that murderous aura. Evil. So evil. One glance at that bloody sword threatened to overwhelm him with its endless bloodlust, robbing him of control. Demon Sword. A real demon sword. Fang Xian was horrified, as if he were staring at a killing blade forged in hell. An artifact? It really is. How is it possible? How could you have one? DouluoDalu's expression changed drastically. Seeing the old madman produce this murderous demon knife, he could no longer remain calm, because even as a title Douluo, he felt a hint of death from that blade. This was the breath of a god. You're right, a mortal like me can't forge a legendary artifact, but I have the artifact. The old madman smiled proudly, he gripped the demon knife tightly in his right hand. His presence shifted, surging with power, as if he were a peerless god of slaughter reborn from hell. Terrifying murderous energy pierced the world, shaking the very ground. Kid, watch closely. This is how you use a blade, the old madman laughed, his whole being flowing with sword intent. He unleashed a red sword field, aimed the blood-red demon sword at DouluoDalu, and slashed down. One knife. Just one knife. It severed the blood sword and struck down DouluoDalu from afar. Bang! The level 91 title Douluo didn't stand a chance. He was killed on the spot, his body exploding into a mist of blood, shocking. The scene was utterly shocking. He killed a title Douluo with one strike. Fang Xian was so stunned he trembled with excitement. Powerful. So powerful. Was this the pinnacle of swordsmanship? Fang Xian gazed at the mighty old madman, his face filled with longing and admiration. Was this the ultimate expression of sword mastery? Sword energy, sword intent, and the sword domain unified, channeled through the demon sword, becoming the ultimate blade, capable of killing gods and demons. Kid, don't just stand there gawking. Let's get out of here. The old madman glanced at the stunned Fang Xian and said, there's been too much commotion. The spirit hall and heaven do strongmen should be here soon. Fang Xian was stunned, snapping out of his daze. He looked at the old madman, surprised. Hey, you're so strong. Why run? Just block the gods, kill the gods, and the Buddhas get the same treatment. You brat. If only it were as simple as you think. Hearing such arrogance, the old madman glared at Fang Xian angrily. Suddenly, blood spilled from his mouth, staining his clothes red. Huh? Old madman, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Fang Xian was startled, looking worried at the old madman who had suddenly vomited blood. That old lunatic, who had just destroyed DouluoDalu with unbelievable power, was now vomiting blood, his face pale and haggard. What was happening? Had he been injured in the fight with DouluoDalu? Fang Xian was confused. He didn't know what was wrong with the old madman. It seemed that the strike hadn't been as easy as it looked, and the burden on the old madman had been heavy. Move, the old madman said nothing more. He waved his hand, put away the broken black sword, Duanshui, and grabbed the scarlet demon sword, hurrying away with Fang Xian. The rain poured and the wind and thunder howled. The rain grew heavier, washing the blood from the ground. Piles of corpses bled endlessly. As the rain fell, it gradually merged into a river. The whole street reeked of blood. From a distance, the place looked like hell. Overnight, 11 soul sects, 1 soul king, and a titled Douluo had died in the spirit hall. If word got out, it would shake the entire continent, and the perpetrator would surely face the wrath of the spirit hall. It was truly shocking. Next to a pile of soul sect corpses, Mu Hong lay on the ground, his pupils dilated, his body cold and lifeless. Then, whether from the impact of the rain or the force of the wind, his fingers twitched, before being buried quietly in the thick night. Chapter 93: A New Dawn, 4th Update. Please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The night was calm, and the sun peeked lazily over the horizon, its golden rays touching the still damp earth, welcoming a fresh day, sunny after the rain. A vibrant rainbow arched across the light gray sky, almost blinding Feng Xian as he glanced up. He raised a hand to shield his eyes, but colorful light still streamed through his fingers, illuminating his handsome, slightly sleepy face. Ugh! Where the heck am I? That he stretched and yawned, planting his hands on the ground and pushing himself up, his eyes scanning the unfamiliar surroundings. This was a jungle, but without the towering trees or even a single beast in sight. Nothing like the spirit beast forest he remembered. After a brutal night of fighting, Feng Xian was drained. He couldn't even recall where he'd followed the old coot. All he knew was he'd collapsed the moment they stopped, falling into a deep sleep. He'd been completely wiped. After a solid night's sleep, he felt significantly better, his energy restored. Wait, where's the old guy? Feng Xian looked around, but the old madman was nowhere to be found. He muttered, hope he didn't kick the bucket. After helping him deal with all those spirit hall goons yesterday, you'd think he'd at least throw me a bone. Rustle, rustle, the grass swayed, and the disheveled old madman emerged from the jungle's depths, a sly grin on his face. What kind of bone are you looking for? He asked. Hey, you're still alive. Feng Xian's eyes lit up as he saw the old man, clearly surprised. The old madman's mysterious nature and unbelievable strength had really made an impression. Who would have guessed that the unassuming blacksmith was actually a powerhouse titled Douluo? Couldn't you give me, like, 1 million or 2 gold coins? Feng Xian said, touching his chin, instantly morphing into a penny-pinching nobody. Ha! A prince from the mighty Heaven Do Empire worried about money? Try having some ambition for once. The old coot laughed. Yeah, well, this prince is worthless. The emperor wouldn't even give me a copper coin. Feng Xian said flatly. Alright, quit your sob story. I'm broker than you are. The old man spread his hands. I've got no money, no life, and besides, I didn't ask for your help. This guy had definitely seen Bright Sword. When it came to being a scoundrel, he could give Comrade Li Yunlong a run for his money. Feng Xian's mouth twitched. Getting anything out of this tightwad was going to be impossible, he sighed, then glanced at the rock behind him. He spotted a blood-red demon knife stuck there beside the old madman, and his eyes widened. This was a legendary artifact, a truly rare treasure. Feng Xian had witnessed its terrifying power firsthand. Last night, the old madman had taken out Blood Douluo with a single strike. Utterly dominant. Alright, money's no good, then let me try out that knife. Feng Xian scrambled over to the old madman, his eyes glued to the crimson blade, rubbing his palms together in anticipation. He couldn't wait to reach out and touch it. Slap! A calloused hand shot out and swatted Feng Xian's outstretched hand away. The old madman gave Feng Xian a cold look and said sternly, this blade is not something you can handle right now, kid. One wrong touch, and you're dead. Come on, is it really that dangerous? Just saying it doesn't mean anything. You're such a cheapskate. Feng Xian pouted, reluctantly glancing at the demonic sword. As a swordsman, this demon blade was his ultimate desire, a level above his white sword Wu Ying, a weapon worthy of a god. Hey, old-timer, where did you even get this thing? Feng Xian asked, still fixated on the blade. Found it lying on the ground. The old man replied casually. Seriously? Where? I'll go look for another one. Feng Xian was suddenly buzzing with excitement. I'm not telling you. Damn, Fang Xian's face twitched. This old man was a real jerk. Frustrated that he couldn't even touch the sword, Fang Xian sat cross-legged in front of the old madman, his gaze never leaving the weapon. After a long silence, the old man looked up, his eyes meeting Fang Xian's through his tangled hair. You really want to try this blade? Fang Xian blinked, then grinned and nodded. Yeah. Alright, I'll let you have some fun and experience the power of a real artifact. The old man grinned, finally relenting. He warned seriously, but I'm telling you now, if anything happens while you're playing with the blade, I'm not responsible. Come on, it's just a knife. What's it going to do, eat me? Fang Xian rolled his eyes, ignoring the warning. His heart pounding with anticipation, he reached out and grabbed the demon sword. Kid, open your eyes to the vastness of this world, the old man murmured, his eyes fixed on Fang Xian as he held the blade. Boom. The moment Fang Xian gripped the hilt, a wave of brutal, murderous energy erupted from the sword, stabbing at him like a million knives. His body was being torn apart, his soul crushed. He let out a cry of pain. In that instant, Fang Xian felt trapped in a whirlpool of carnage, his body dissolving, his spirit collapsing, so strong. It was terrifyingly powerful. Was this the power of a god? As if waking from a nightmare, Fang Xian was horrified, his face contorted in pain. The hand holding the sword was instantly shredded, the murderous intent too much for a mortal body to withstand. Refusing to yield, he grit his teeth, his skin cracking and falling away, leaving only bone, yet he held on tight, refusing to let go. Fang Xian held on, enduring the pain. Using the nine-hearted begonia to heal the damage, he plunged his consciousness into the sword, battling the overwhelming energy, refusing to break. Impressive willpower, the old man smiled, noting the scene. Boom. He didn't know how long it took, but finally, becoming somewhat accustomed to the murderous energy, the world around Fang Xian exploded, the world transforming before his eyes. A magnificent scene slowly unfolded. Chapter 94 Demon Sword Hongyu, 5th update. Please subscribe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This was utter chaos. Thousands were locked in combat with chaos overhead and the sky seemingly beneath their feet. What spooked Fang Xian the most was that everyone was rocking 10 soul rings, and the sheer power they were throwing around felt like it could shatter the entire Douluo Continent. God Almighty! These were level 100 gods, no doubt about it. Fang Xian was floored, like he was getting a front-row seat to a battle of the gods. The weakest soul ring setup started with 10,000-year rings, black, 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 red, 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 gold. But most people's first rings were over 100,000 years old, red, 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 gold. Totally insane. Aya. No, please, no. Run. Get out of here. That guy's. Screams of terror echoed through the mayhem. Dead center, a red-haired dude with a demon sword was hacking and slashing, covered head to toe in blood. Every swing took out a bunch of these level 100 gods. He was going berserk, single-handedly taking on a whole legion of gods. Godslayer? Who is this dude? Fang Xian watched, horrified. These level 100 gods with their 10 soul rings were getting wrecked by this red-haired maniac. They were getting hammered so bad they were scattering in every direction. And we're talking about gods here. It was a mind-blowing sight. Is that demon sword his weapon? Fang Xian noticed the scarlet demon blade was the same one that crazy old guy toted around. It was the exact same one. Burning with curiosity, Fang Xian edged closer, squinting, trying to make out the face of the red-haired guy hidden in the swirling chaos energy. Suddenly, the red-haired dude snapped his head up and glared right at Fang Xian. His eyes flashed open, and 2 icy beams shot out, obliterating Fang Xian's figure. Boom! Fang Xian's head exploded with noise, his vision went black, and he snapped awake from the weird chaotic space. Gasping, he was soaked in cold sweat. His body felt drained, and he collapsed on the ground. Holy crap. That was terrifying. Just one look and I'm toast. Is that the kind of power gods have? Feng Xian was breathing hard, his face a mask of terror. He was clearly still freaked out. You're awake. Not bad. You lasted longer than I expected. That the old loon was sitting cross-legged, grinning at Feng Xian. Old man. What the heck was that? Feng Xian stammered, still reeling. Like you saw, it was a fight. A fight between gods. The old man said, his eyes intense. Feng Xian didn't say a word. You saw the red-haired guy, the god slayer? That's the owner of this demon sword. That the old man stroked the red demon sword. This blade's called Hongyu, the demon sword. It's a god killer. Demon Sword Hongyu. Feng Xian's eyes locked on the sword, his expression turning serious. This thing had a serious pedigree. It's wicked powerful. Even I, a titled Douluo, can't unlock its full potential. Among divine weapons, it's top of the line. That the old man's voice changed, and he sighed. But because it's so strong, the backlash is brutal. When you use it, you risk getting swallowed up by the insane bloodlust inside. You gotta remember, that's the murderous energy left over from killing gods. Even a whiff of it can shatter a normal person. Even a titled Douluo like me pays a heavy price when using it. Got it. Feng Xian nodded, finally understanding why the old man coughed up blood for no reason. He was getting hammered by the demonic blade's murderous intent, causing internal damage. Alright, kid, forget about this blade for now. With your current strength, you couldn't even swing it without turning into dust. That the old man grinned, waved his hand, and stashed the demon blade in his ring. Then he pulled out a long black knife and handed it to Feng Xian. Here, I'm giving you Duanshui, this black knife. Consider it a parting gift. Huh. But isn't this one broken? Feng Xian was surprised to see the undamaged black sword Duanshui. He remembered Blood Douluo snapping it in half. Yeah, well, I spent 3 days fixing it. The old man chuckled. You fixed it? Feng Xian's eyes lit up. He grabbed the black blade, stoked. It wasn't a godly artifact like the demon blade, but it was still a top-notch sword. Quality-wise, it even outclassed his own white blade, Wuying. The artifact-level demon blade was out of the question for now, but this black sword Duanshui was perfect for his current needs. Awesome, thanks. Feng Xian was playing with the black blade, stoked, and thanked the old man. Wait a sec. Then he frowned, realization dawning. Did you say 3 days? What 3 days? It felt like just a few minutes. 1 day in the heavens is 1 year on Earth. You only spent a short time in that chaotic space, but 3 days have actually passed. The old man explained. Feng Xian looked bummed. So in the god realm, you lose track of time. Kid, I gotta split. Maybe we'll meet again. The old man gave Feng Xian a serious look inside. What? You're leaving now? Feng Xian was shocked. Hold up. I've got a ton of questions. Who are you? What's your beef with the spirit hull? Where'd you get that demon sword? Don't give me that, I found it, crap. I don't buy it. Heh, the old man smiled. Next time. If we ever cross paths again, I'll spill all the beans. Ah. Feng Xian frowned, clearly ticked off by the answer, but the old man vanished in a flash, leaving only a hearty laugh hanging in the air. Ha 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 ha, kid, try to stay alive. This world is a wild ride. Feng Xian stared at the empty space, speechless for a long moment. His eyes filled with determination, and he nodded. I'll do my best. Chapter 95 Engagement, additional updates for the hall leader Xing Pianchen. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Back at Tiendo Academy, I found a group of people anxiously waiting for me. Feng Xian, looking stunned and wary, asked, What's going on? You guys looking for a fight? It was Yu Tianheng, Du Guyan, Yi Lingling, and the others. They rushed over and surrounded him, making Fang Xian think they were there to stir up trouble. Fang Xian, where have you been? The whole academy's been looking for you. Yu Tianheng said. Looking for me? Fang Xian's heart skipped a beat, and he frowned, sensing something was wrong. It can't be. Could what happened that night have been exposed, and the spirit hall found out about me? He was just a small soul sect. A titled Douluo and over a dozen others died in the spirit hall that night. Surely they wouldn't suspect him. Just as Fang Xian was racking his brain, Du Guyan spoke. Hey, what are you waiting for? Let's go. His Majesty the Emperor has been looking for you for 3 days, Yi Lingling added. Emperor Shui is looking for me? Fang Xian was dumbfounded, completely lost. Inside Tiando Palace, Fang Xian stood in the main hall, confused, and eyed Emperor Shui on the throne, wondering why the emperor was looking for him. Emperor Shui was smiling widely and seemed to be in good spirits, chatting happily with Ning Fengji. The Tiando Empire and the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School had a strong relationship, as did Emperor Shui and Ning Fengji. The Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School was the only one of the upper 3 sects that supported the Tiando Imperial family. The two spoke in hushed tones, and Fang Xian couldn't make out what they were saying. He didn't dare to interrupt and stayed quietly in the hall. After about 10 minutes, Emperor Shui and Ning Fengji stopped talking, turned to Fang Xian, and smiled kindly. Fang Xian was startled and felt a sense of unease. What are these two old codgers up to? Under their intense gaze, he started to panic, convinced they were plotting something. Fang Xian, Emperor Shui began, smiling, your performance in the competition was excellent, and Sect Master Ning highly admires you. We've discussed it for days and decided to arrange a marriage for you. Marriage? Fang Xian exclaimed. Yes, you're a talented young man of 15, and Sect Master Ning has a beloved daughter who has just turned 12. She's smart, beautiful, and lovely. Emperor Shui stroked his beard and said, you're close in age, both outstanding geniuses, a perfect match. Sect leader Ning and I have decided to betroth you. Ning Rongrong. Betrothal. Fang Xian's mouth twitched. What kind of mess is this? Fang Xian, we've seen your strength, and Rongrong is a gifted support-type soul master with the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile Pagoda, the best support-type spirit on the continent. Together, you'll complement each other, grow even stronger, and make a name for yourselves. Ning Fengji smiled and nodded at Fang Xian, clearly pleased with his future son-in-law. This. Fang Xian hesitated, wanting to refuse to avoid a future annulment. This is a tired trope. Should I pretend to agree and then secretly divorce the little witch? No. Either way will cause endless problems. This is a headache. You're an emperor and a sect leader. Why are you playing matchmaker? Under the emperor and sect leader's piercing gaze, Fang Xian gritted his teeth and said, Your Majesty, sect leader Ning, I don't want to get married yet. Ridiculous, I haven't lived my single life enough. How can I get married? How can I let her sleep on my couch? Fang Xian wasn't ready to share his bed with anyone. Of course, if Ning Rongrong was willing to sleep on the floor, he could agree for now. I'll find a chance to kick her out later. Who said you had to get married now? Emperor Shui glared at Fang Xian angrily. Rongrong is only 12. Even if you wanted to, I wouldn't allow it. This is just a betrothal. When you're both adults, sect leader Ning and I will prepare a grand wedding. Ning Fengji's smile didn't waver. Fang Xian, don't worry. When you and Rongrong get married, I'll prepare a generous dowry. Dowry. Fang Xian's eyes lit up, almost giving in. The 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School is rich. They must have a huge dowry for Ning Rongrong. Why not defraud them of the dowry and then break up amicably? I don't care about the wife, it's the dowry. If I don't get the money, I'm a fool. The 7 treasure glazed tile school's strong financial resources means the dowry would be worth hundreds of millions of gold soul coins, maybe even some soul bones. Besides, Emperor Shuya and Ning Fengji had already made up their minds, and Fang Xian had no choice but to agree. Fine. I'll agree for now and then figure out how to break off the engagement. Okay, I agree. After considering it carefully, Fang Xian nodded seriously. Ha. Seeing this, Emperor Shuya and Ning Fengji exchanged satisfied smiles. By the time I got home, it was dark. Fang Xian sat cross-legged on the bed and checked his system panel to see what he'd gained over the past few days. The most powerful sword drawing system. Host, Fang Xian. Level, LV43. Title, Soul Sect. Soul Power, 10,000/7000, can be upgraded. Weapon, Shadowless Knife. Proficiency, Basic Drawing Sword Technique, 11/200. Perception of State of Mind, Sword Power. God-Given Sword. 1. Martial Spirits, Seraphim Soul, Mid-Level 0/200, Ice Phoenix Soul, Mid-Level 82/200, Nine-Hearted Begonia Soul, Mid-Level 80 to 200. Talents, Sorrow of Judgment, Dance of Fine Snow, Light of Healing. Sword Skills, Storm Slash, Powerful Sword Drawing, Sword Power increased by 30%, Yanhui, High-Speed Sword Drawing, Drawing Speed increased by 30%. Sword Draws Available, 21,000, after killing the Soul King and the 11 Soul Sects, Fang Xian had gained huge benefits. He now had 21,000 sword draws to spend. He touched his chin, thought seriously, and decided to use 11,000 sword draws for a lottery to get soul rings and attribute points, and the remaining 10,000 to strengthen his weapons and enhance the properties of the 2 knives. Excited, Fang Xian started his lottery and strengthening spree. Chapter 96 Harvest and Improvement. Please subscribe. Asking for a monthly ticket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, a grand total of 11,000 pulls, that's 110 draws. Like they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Fang Xian was finally on a roll, drawing prizes left and right. Over 100 draws, he racked up some serious loot, including some pretty sweet items. Centennial Soul Ring X33. Millennium Soul Ring X15. Talent Points X62. Basic Proficiency Points X35. Ugh, a bunch of yellow 100-year soul rings, trash. Once the lottery frenzy was over, Fang Xian checked his inventory to see what he'd won, tons of 100-year soul rings, but they were useless. He also snagged 15,000-year soul rings, the best clocking in at 5,000 years, but they weren't doing it for him. With his current power, Fang Xian could easily absorb soul rings over 10,000 years old, so even the 5,000-year ones left him cold. On the other hand, he got a decent haul of talent and basic proficiency points, and those were gold. First, Fang Xian soaked up the 35 basic mastery points to boost his swordsmanship, making his fundamental drawing skills even better. The effect was noticeable. Right now, Fang Xian's top skill was the Seraphim Spirit's light drawing technique. So, he didn't hesitate, pumping all 62 talent points into his 6-winged angel martial spirit. It wasn't enough to level up the Seraphim martial soul from intermediate to high level, but if he kept at it, he knew he'd get there eventually. After dealing with those points, Fang Xian's face lit up as he stared, wide-eyed, at 2 brand new items in his inventory. 100-year soul ring cultivation. Under 10,000 years, X2. 10,000-year soul ring. Ha! Now we're talking. Fang Xian's eyes sparkled when he saw these 2 goodies. 100-year soul ring cultivation, a rare item that could boost a soul ring's age. Early on, soul masters were limited by their level and strength to absorbing younger soul rings. Most people's first and second soul rings were just yellow century level ones, which held them back big time later on. Having read the Douluo story, Fang Xian knew the only way to really age up a soul ring was to ace the 9th god level exam. When Tang San and the Shrek 7 pulled that off in the Poseidon exam, their power levels went through the roof. That's because the Poseidon exam rewards juiced their soul ring configurations, making them top tier. But now, Feng Xian had a lottery prize that did the same thing. It was a game changer. Even though the item only worked on rings under 10,000 years, it was still going to seriously upgrade his gear. Trying to stay cool, Feng Xian sized up his 3 soul rings. There was the 800-year-old yellow, the 1,000-year purple, and the 3,000-year purple. After some thought, Feng Xian decided to use the 200 years of soul ring cultivation to boost his first, 800-year-old soul ring, bumping it up to the 1,000-year mark, even if he dumped the 200 years onto the other 1,000-year soul rings. It wouldn't do much. Better to make that century-old ring a 1,000-year one for the biggest impact. Let's do this. Feng Xian's eyes hardened as he used the 200 years of soul ring cultivation on his first soul ring. A moment later, his hands opened, revealing 3 purple soul rings, one after the other, glowing softly. Not bad. Feng Xian checked them out, nodding in approval. It wasn't the most luxurious setup, but it was up there with the best among soul masters under level 50. Now, for that 10,000-year soul ring. Feng Xian's eyes lit up as he stared at the dark soul ring. He could feel the insane energy pulsing inside. A 10,000-year soul ring? Perfect timing, since I can copy a martial soul, too. Now that he was a soul sect, he still had a God-given sword he hadn't used yet. He'd copy the new martial spirit in the next day or two, then absorb that 10,000-year soul ring. Lottery's over. Time to buff up the swords. Last time, after 1,000 draws, the shadowless sword only got +3. This time, Feng Xian had 10,000 draws to work with. Could the shadowless sword finally get +30? Oh yeah, he had 2 swords now. Feng Xian suddenly remembered that he owned 2 swords now, the white sword, shadowless, and the black sword, water-breaking. He decided to aim lower. +15 for each sword. Not too greedy, right? Feeling pumped, he started to enhance the 2 blades. An hour later, Feng Xian's pupils were wide, his face was blank, and he lay sprawled on the bed, feeling totally drained. What the heck? He groaned, his lips twitching. 10,000 draws, all that work, and in the end, the black sword was +8, the white sword +9. Neither even broke +10, Feng Xian was about to lose it. This whole enhancement thing was a total ripoff. After wallowing for a while, he sat up, shook it off, and started checking the sword stats. Shadowless knife, grade, A, rare, strength, 77, +32, speed, 120, +36, enhancement, +9, special attributes, none, overall assessment, invisible, lightning fast, but slightly lacking in power. A blade of pure speed. Water-breaking knife, grade, A, rare, strength, 150, +55, speed, 108, +42, enhancement, +8, special attributes, none, overall assessment, cuts through water like nothing. Unrivaled sharpness. A powerful offensive blade. The shadowless knife stats jumped by around 50%, and the water-breaking knife got about a 60% boost from its first enhancement. The whole buffing thing did work pretty well. Actually, he clicked on his personal info, the most powerful sword drawing system, host, Feng Xian, level, LV43. Title, Soul Sect, Soul Power, 10,000/7000, ready to level up. Weapons, Shadowless Knife, Water-Breaking Knife, Proficiency, Elementary Sword Drawing Technique, 46/200, Perception of State of Mind, Sword Intent, God-Given Sword, 1, Martial Spirits, Soul of Seraphim, Intermediate Level 62-200, Soul of Ice Phoenix, Intermediate Level 82/200, Soul of Nine-Hearted Begonia, Intermediate Level 80-200, Talents, Sorrow of Judgment, Dance of Fine Snow, Light of Healing, Sword Skills, Storm Slash, Super Powerful Sword Drawing, plus 30% Power, Yanhui, Super. High Speed Sword Drawing, plus 30% Speed, Remaining Draw Attempts, 0, not bad. Looking at the growing stats, Fang Xian nodded in satisfaction. Chapter 97 Composition. The strongest Imperial fighting team, first update. Please subscribe and VOT. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the darkness, a powerful man lay sprawled on the floor. His clothes were torn, his hair a mess. Tables and chairs were overturned, teacups shattered, the whole place a disaster. Looking closer, it was Yu Tianheng himself, the young man in such a sorry state. Beside him stood a calm, dark-haired figure. A golden blade hovered in his right hand, radiating a blinding light, *ding-dong star. Copying successful. Congratulations, you have obtained, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Soul. New talent unlocked, Thunder Blade. Got the martial soul. Soul Ring Absorption here I come. Fang Xian smiled slightly, gazing down at the defeated Yu Tianheng. Thanks for the martial spirit, buddy. That with his current power, sneaking into Yu Tianheng's place and taking him down was child's play. Yu Tianheng never even saw it coming, knocked unconscious by a single punch. During this little visit, Fang Xian used his God-given sword to copy Yu Tianheng's Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus, making it his fourth martial soul. Back home, he immediately began to absorb a 10,000-year soul ring, attaching it to his newly acquired Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial soul. By dawn, congratulations, soul ring absorption successful. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus soul has been upgraded to intermediate level. Current attributes, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus soul, intermediate level 100/200. Talent, Thunder Blade, upgraded to Thunder Flash. Thunder Flash, like a bolt from the blue, this super-speed sword draw is packed with incredible power. It's as powerful as thunder, as fast as lightning, and unstoppable. Yes. Martial spirit upgraded. Fang Xian nodded, satisfied. The 10,000-year soul ring had done more than just that. His stored soul power exploded under the immense pressure, and his soul power jumped up 2 whole levels. The Ultimate Sword Draw System. Host, Fang Xian. Level, LV45. Title, Soul Sect. Soul Power, 0/10,000. Weapons, Shadowless Knife, Water-Breaking Knife. Proficiency, Basic Drawing Sword Technique, 46/200. Mental State, Sword Power. God-Given Sword, 0. Martial Souls, Seraphim Soul, Intermediate Level 62/200, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Soul, Intermediate Level 100/200, Ice Phoenix Soul, Intermediate Level 82/200, Nine-Hearted Begonia Soul, Intermediate Level 80/200. Talents, Sorrow of Judgment, Flash of Thunder, Dance of Fine Snow, Light of Healing. Sword Skills, Storm Slash, Super Strong Sword Draw power increased by 30%, Yanhui, Super High-Speed Sword Draw speed increased by 30%. Sword draws available, 0, level 45. Fang Xian felt the surging power, his eyes gleaming with excitement. He opened his right hand, purple, black. 4 brilliant soul rings quietly appeared, radiating a dazzling light. Looking at the rings in his palm, Fang Xian couldn't help but grin. Excitement surged through him. Not long ago, he was a nobody. Now, he was a level 45 soul sect with the power to take on soul kings. He sighed, thinking of how much things had changed. Time flew by, and a month passed in the blink of an eye. Fang Xian dedicated this time to practicing his left-handed swordsmanship. With constant practice, his left-hand skills had noticeably improved. While he lacked the instinctive feel he had with his right, the power of the 50,000-year blood-devouring left arm bone more than made up for it. His left-hand sword was just as deadly as his right. Drawing the sword was powerful, delivering huge burst damage, but it was best suited for single targets. Only by drawing the sword and striking in one fluid motion could he unleash its full potential, but what if he faced a crowd? Could he really draw, sheath, and repeat? That's where dual wielding came in. In this world, it was wise to have special skills for self-defense. So, besides perfecting his sword draw, Fang Xian was also practicing the art of fighting with two swords. These days, Tiando Academy was buzzing with activity. Teachers were scouting for elite students, and students were fired up, training hard and hoping to catch the school's eye. Because in a year, the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition would begin. It was the biggest event in Douluo Continent, dwarfing even the genius battles within Tiando Academy. Tiando Academy, Five Elements Academy, Star Luo Empire, and the Spirit Hall would all send powerful teams to battle for supremacy. It was a gathering of heroes, and young experts everywhere were eager to compete and be selected as members of their academy's team. The school was preparing, actively scouting for talent. As an academy founded by the Tiando Empire's royal family, Tiando Royal Academy had two participating teams. One team's roster was still undecided, but the first team had been announced to the entire school 3 days ago. Royal Battle Team, Team 1, Captain, Fang Xian, Level 45 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Sword, Soul Rings, 3 purple, 1 black. Vice Captain, Yu Tianheng, Level 39 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. Team Member, Dugu Yan, Level 38 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Green Scaled Serpent, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. Team Member, Yi Lingling, Level 35 Support Soul Master, Martial Soul, Nine-Hearted Begonia, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. Team Member, Yu Feng, Level 36 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Wind Chime Bird, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. Team Member, Sure Mo, Level 38 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Xuanwu Turtle, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. Team Member, Sure Mo, Level 37 Battle Soul Master, Martial Soul, Xuanwu Turtle, Soul Rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple. This powerful lineup was the strongest royal battle team ever assembled. Teachers and students alike were excited, feeling that this year's team had a real shot at the championship. For years, the Spirit Hall had dominated the competition. This time, the Royal Academy might actually take the top spot. Emperor Shuya had high hopes for this year's royal battle team. With Fang Xian's power, he was clearly the team's ace, and no one questioned his captaincy, and so, with Fang Xian as captain and Qin Ming as the leader, the strongest royal battle team in history was formed. With a year to go before the competition, Qin Ming decided to take the team on a journey, challenging powerful opponents to build teamwork and hone their skills before the competition. Fang Xian knew that Qin Ming was about to lead the team to Soto City, but this time, with Fang Xian in the mix, the battle against the Shrek team might have a very different outcome. Chapter 98 Shrek Academy, Second Update. Please subscribe and vote monthly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The southern part of the Tiando Empire bordered Fasno Province, home to the Barak Kingdom, one of the empire's 4 kingdoms. Despite being called a kingdom, Barak's territory only covered 3/4 of Fasno Province and remained part of the Tiando Empire. 50 years ago, the Tiando Empire consisted of 10 provinces. But with its waning power and the establishment of the 4 kingdoms, the empire gradually splintered into 6 factions. Now, the empire only directly controlled 5 provinces. The remaining 5 were divided among the 4 kingdoms, including Barak, and 1 principality, creating constant rivalry. These kingdoms were ambitious and, while outwardly acknowledging the Tiando Empire's rule, functioned as independent states. They handled all internal affairs without imperial interference. Recently, these kingdoms had secretly plotted together, some even colluding with the Star Luo Empire. Only the empire's powerful military kept internal and external conflict from erupting. Even so, the Tiando Empire's dominance was fading. If it couldn't regain its strength within 10 years, a war to overthrow the government was inevitable. Soto City. Located in the fertile Lima plain of the Barak Kingdom, Soto City, known as the Granary of Barak, was a thriving metropolis, second only to Tiando City. The city also housed a 3rd-level Spirit Hall, further indicating its wealth and power. Just outside Soto City stood an old academy. Under the blazing sun, a group of energetic teenagers ran across the dilapidated, moss-covered playground, sweating buckets. Whoa, finally. I'm dead, one of them exclaimed. After 3 hours, they were drenched, exhausted, and drained of soul power. At the signal to stop, they threw decorum to the wind. Even the girls collapsed on the ground, and the boys lay sprawled out, panting like dogs. The master's grueling training pushed these kids to their limits, leaving them drained. Still, their soul power grew rapidly. Though only 12 or 13 years old, their average soul power level was already around level 30, marking them as extremely rare geniuses on the Douluo Continent. Hey, can you rub my legs? A cute girl with long braids, a pink dress, and white stockings batted her eyes at the boy next to her, her voice playful and a bit flirty. She placed her smooth legs on his lap. Right now? The boy froze. As soon as his hands touched her soft legs, he felt eyes on him. He cleared his throat, looking embarrassed. Even though Tang San and Xiao Wu were practically siblings, this gesture felt a little too intimate in front of everyone and drew disapproving stares. Xiao Wu, let's find a quiet place later, Tang San said, trying to smile. Teasing you. Xiao Wu, realizing the awkwardness, stuck out her tongue, pulled her legs back, and hid her flushed face between her knees. Oh, come on, third brother, go ahead. We didn't see anything, really. Ma Hongjun squinted, grinning mischievously. Yeah, my eyesight's been bad lately. Must be the training. Everything's blurry. I never see what I'm not supposed to. Oscar chimed in, but his smirk betrayed him. Heh. The others laughed. Zhuqing, you okay? Want a leg massage? Maybe a shoulder rub? Dai Mubai, with his long blonde hair and striking eyes, tried to get the indifferent girl's attention. Unlike the others, she looked younger but had a killer figure, a full bust, round hips, and a tiny waist. A real knockout, just looking at her made your blood rush. Humph, get lost, Zhuqing said, ignoring Dai Mubai, her gaze fixed on the distant forest, her figure aloof. Well. Dai Mubai touched his nose, looking deflated. His attempt to charm the girl had backfired. Ouch. Boss Dai got shot down. How embarrassing. Ma Hongjun teased, not holding back. Didn't expect Boss Dai, the ladies' man, to get rejected. Serves him right. Oscar added. You two are getting on my nerves. Maybe I need to loosen you up a bit. Get back here. Dai Mubai frowned, chasing after them across the playground. Their laughter echoed through Shrek Academy. Seriously, you guys are such a buzzkill. Can't you see they're flirting? Like Tang San and Xiao Wu, so cute. A girl with long black hair, delicate features, and a sly smile joined in. She wore a long aqua dress and white boots, looking as playful and beautiful as an elf. Rong, we're just siblings, Tang San corrected her. Yeah, brother Qing and sister Qing. Ning Rong covered her mouth, giggling. The others started teasing them, making Tang San and Xiao Wu blush. Just then, Oscar ran up to Ning Rong, beaming. Rong, you jealous of Tang San and Xiao Wu? Why not find someone yourself? What about me? Handsome, charming, practically a god. Ning Rong sighed, spreading her hands. Xiao Ao, forget about it. It'll never work between us support soul masters. Oscar was crushed, but before he could dwell on it, he noticed a hint of sadness in Ning Rong's eyes. Rong, what's wrong? What happened? Oscar asked. Tell us, we'll help, Tang San added, noticing something was wrong. Rong, what is it? Everyone looked at the girl with concern. After a moment, Ning Rong nervously twisted her skirt and blurted out, my dad set up an arranged marriage. Chapter 99 Engagement and Soul Fighting Arena, 3rd update. Monthly pass 50 plus more. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shrek Academy. Ning Rong sat on the grass, confiding her worries to everyone. So, like, a month ago, my dad, being the total jerk he is, arranged a marriage for me without even asking. Apparently, it's some little prince from the Tiando Empire. I heard he's super fat, like, fatter than Ma Hongjun. It's so messed up. Hey, Rong, personal foul. What did I ever do to you? Why you gotta bring me into this? Have you even noticed I've dropped a few pounds lately? Ma Hongjun protested. Oops, my bad. But dude, compared to this prince, you're practically skinny. Ning Rong added. Seriously, Ma Hongjun perked up at the compliment. But then he frowned. Wait a minute, is that even a compliment? Alright, fatso, zip it and let Rong finish. Everyone waved him off, raising a tiny fist. Ning Rong said angrily, seriously. I haven't even met this guy. How can I spend my whole life with him? No way I'm going through with this. You got this, Rong. Oscar cheered. Come on, Rong, you've only heard rumors. What if he's not fat? What if he's actually, like, super hot, even hotter than Xiao Ao, and cooler than Boss Dai? Ma Hongjun grinned. Then what? You gonna call off your protest? You annoying fathead, I'm trying to vent. You're supposed to be supportive, not make things worse. You wanna go? Ning Rong snapped. Whoa, easy there. My bad. Ma Hongjun quickly backed down. Fine. But I, Ning Rong, am a woman of my word. Even if this prince is the hottest, most powerful dude ever, I'm not gonna fall for him. I'm not marrying him, or I'll shave my head. Ning Rong clenched her jaw. Shave your head. Tang San, Xiao Wu, Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, Oscar, and Ma Hongjun stared at the weird little witch, shocked. Whoa, that's a pretty harsh threat. Guess we're banking on this prince being a total loser. Okay, Rong, putting that aside, what's your plan to actually break this engagement? Tang San asked seriously. If their families were setting this up, it wouldn't be easy to back out. If Tang San had read some web novels, he might get some ideas. Relax. A sly look crossed Ning Rong's face. I've got a plan. Dad's letter said that the prince is conveniently visiting Soto City in the next few days. He wants me to entertain him and get to know him. She raised her fist. Get to know him, huh? I'll get to know him with my fists. This is the perfect opportunity. We can beat him up and make him call off the engagement. Problem solved. She grinned mischievously. All right. Rong, when this prince shows up, we're helping you kick his butt. Everyone agreed. Thanks, guys. If we pull this off, dinner's on me. Ning Rong said, smiling. By the way, what's this prince's name? Dai Mubai asked. I think it was, Fong. Ning Rong paused, struggling to remember. Fong Ping. Yeah, that's it. Prince Fong Ping. The emperor's illegitimate son and a total zero who couldn't even awaken his spirit, Fong Ping. Fong Ping. Everyone exchanged glances, nodding grimly. They all agreed that Prince Fong Ping would soon regret the day he messed with Ning Rong. Okay, deal. Ning Rong grinned. After training, everyone hung out on the field, laughing and joking. The atmosphere at Shrek Academy was relaxed and harmonious. Suddenly, a tall, stern figure approached, making everyone tense up. It was a middle-aged man, maybe in his 40s or 50s, dressed in black. He was tall, with okay features but a perpetual scowl. It was none other than the master, Yu Xiaojiang, all the teachers from Shrek Academy. For the past 3 months, he had been training them like animals, pushing them to their limits every single day. Seeing him now filled them with dread, like they were about to face some kind of torture. They quickly stood up straight, waiting for his instructions. The master, hands clasped behind his back, stared seriously at Tang San and the other Shrek students. In the past 3 months, with the help of the teachers, your bodies have developed some foundational strength, but if you want to become excellent soul masters, this is still not enough. So, starting today, you will begin the second phase of your training. Second phase. Everyone smiled, relieved. Finally, no more daily runs to Chaki. I heard from Flanders that you recently visited the Soto Grand Soul Arena. That's perfect, I don't have to waste time introducing you to the Soul Arena, that the master stood with his hands behind his back. Listen carefully. The second phase of your training involves going to the Soto Grand Soul Arena. There is no time limit. You will complete this training when everyone has earned a Silver Fighting Soul badge. If you are good enough, the income from the Grand Arena will be very substantial. Hearing this, everyone started to get excited. Participating in spirit fights was easier than the master's training, plus they could earn money. For them, this was a pretty good deal. My challenge to you is not to just earn a Silver Fighting Soul badge in one-on-one matches but also to earn a Silver Fighting Soul badge in team battles. The master carefully looked at their young faces. Can you do it? Chapter 100 My Big Sword. Already hungry and thirsty, please subscribe. Asking for a monthly ticket. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Silver Fighting Soul Badge Challenge. 4 Tang San, Xiao Wu, Ma Hongjun, Dai Mubai, and Zhu Zhuqing, the 5 attack-oriented spirit masters. Getting the Silver Fighting Soul badge wasn't a big deal, but Ning Rongrong and Oscar, the 2 support-type spirit masters, faced a tougher challenge. They needed to earn the badge not only in team battles but also in individual matches, a major hurdle for support specialists who lacked direct combat skills. Master, Oscar began, Rongrong and I are support types. Fighting isn't exactly our forte. Do we really have to get the Silver Fighting Soul badge? Support type, huh? The master's cold snort underscored his serious tone. In a real fight, do you think your enemies will cut you slack because you're just support? Well, probably not, Oscar admitted with a sheepish grin. Let me tell you something else, support spirit masters with weak combat skills, like you two, become prime targets in team battles. The enemy will come for you first. He turned to Ning Rongrong and Oscar, his expression grave. So, your training in the spirit arena is going to be even more intense than everyone else's. Got it, they both replied, nodding earnestly, and so, under the master's guidance, the group began their live combat training in the spirit arena. The Shrek 7 devils were about to make their mark in Soto Spirit Arena. Time zipped by. A month vanished. During that time, the Shrek 7 devils fought in 27 team battles in the Soto Grand Spirit Arena. They won every single one, crushing every team below level 30. They were on fire, and their reputation was exploding. The name of the Shrek 7 monsters started to spread like wildfire. Near the end of the month, Team Shrek ran into their toughest opponents yet, Team Madness. Every member of Team Madness was at least level 35, and their leader, Guangxi, was a level 38 powerhouse. They'd only been in the Soul Fighting Arena for a week, but they'd already achieved Soul Master status, thanks to Guangxi's impressive 7-win streak. If they could keep the streak going and rack up 10 straight victories, they'd immediately advance to the Bronze Fighting Soul team. However, among the Shrek 7 monsters, Dai Mubai was level 38, Tang San was level 32, Xiao Wu was level 31, Oscar was level 31, Ma Hongjun was level 28, and Zhu Zhuqing was level 28, Ning Rongrong was level 27. Only 4 members of Team Shrek were above level 30, and only Dai Mubai was above level 35. In terms of raw power, Team Shrek was definitely the underdog, but, in a stunning upset, Team Shrek defied the odds and defeated Team Madness. The victory shot Team Shrek to fame, and they became known as the team to beat at the soul level. 3 days after their victory over Team Madness, they received an unexpected visitor. It was Director Ao of the Soto Grand Spirit Arena. He was there to represent the arena and discuss some important business with the master, the leader of Team Shrek. They settled into a living room and began to talk over tea. Director Ao, just spit it out, the master said. What's this about? The master, never one for beating around the bush, fixed Ao with a stare, trying to figure out his angle. Team Shrek's performance had been outstanding, and it was clear that the arena's higher-ups had taken notice. Tang San, with his winning streak, had become the center of attention. The spirit arena was a den of wealth and desire, not unlike the ancient gladiatorial arenas of old. As the top spirit arena in the Balik Kingdom, the Soto Soul Fighting Arena held so much power that even the royal family gave it a wide berth. While the master preferred to avoid dealing with them, he couldn't afford to offend them. "Alright, let's get straight to it," Director Ao replied, his face turning serious. "A powerful team showed up 3 days ago. All its members are Silver Fighting Soul Masters. Now, Silver Fighting Soul Master aren't exactly rare, but here's the kicker, they're all Soul Masters." "What? A Soul Master level Silver Fighting Soul team?" The master finally showed some emotion, his face registering shock. "That's right. You know that most Silver Fighting Soul Masters are above level 40, but these guys are all in their 30s. A Soul Master level Silver Fighting Soul team is practically unbeatable below level 40. A bunch of nobles have bet huge sums on them, and we've lost millions of gold soul coins in the last few days." Director Ao looked pained, clearly stressed by this mysterious team. The master now understood why Ao was here. "So, you want our Shrek team to fight this Silver Fighting Soul level Soul Master team?" he asked calmly. "Exactly. Your Shrek team is the strongest at the soul level. You've won all 27 of your team battles. You even beat Team Madness, who were all above level 35. Ao went on, laying it on thick. "I'm confident that the Shrek 7 monsters can go head-to-head with this mysterious Silver Fighting Spirit team, a soul-level Silver Fighting Soul team." The master's eyes lit up. While he knew this would be a tough fight, this powerful team was the ideal opponent for the Shrek 7 monsters. Only strong enemies could make them better, and they could learn from failure. The master had already made up his mind, but he played it cool to try and squeeze some more benefits out of Director Ao. Ignoring Ao's pleading expression, the master remained silent. Ao had worked in the spirit arena for years and knew how things worked. Seeing the master's face, he understood immediately and said with a smile, "Of course, we wouldn't ask you to do this for free. If the Shrek team wins, we'll pay an extra 10,000 gold soul coins as a reward and upgrade all your members to Silver Fighting Spirit status. And even if you lose, we'll give you 1,000 gold soul coins as compensation. How's that sound?" The master finally smiled, satisfied. "Deal." Meanwhile, in a VIP box in the spirit arena, a stern young man leaned against the windowsill, his cold eyes staring through the glass at the Shrek 7 devils down below. "Alright, time to deal with Tang San and his crew." Fang Xian's mouth twisted into a dangerous smile, and he glanced down at the 2 sharp knives hidden in his arms. Their blades gleamed with a chilling light. "I've been sharpening these blades for a whole month, my knives are getting hungry."